was trying to stick the cartridge in the camera, but I couldn't get it in.
Why?
I don't know. It was going in the wrong way. Brought me back.
To what?
Nothing. I love you. Does that mic smell good?
I wasn't smelling it.
Well, your nose hit it.
I was
warming up to it.
No.
So the big question is this. How are leaders like you that recognize people and technology are the backbone of the company they're building continue to make progress when they have no clear idea on how to develop individuals and utilize technology in a way that helps them remain profitable? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. This is Tom and Michaela, and welcome to the Heart and Hustle podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
You know what sucks?
What?
This. Weather.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's cold. For those of you that don't know, and I think you probably knew that we were online, right? Recording.
Do you hear music?
I hear music.
What's happening right now?
I think it's the music going on inside the nest here.
You want me to go turn it off?
Yeah.
I'll go turn it off.
McKenna, this is where you say 1 minute later with the old SpongeBob thing. Do 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 do. Yeah, the SpongeBob when he's underneath the sea.
1 minute later.
Yep, there you go. You got it. Here she comes back, making a big dramatic entrance. Cue the music.
Okay.
There you go. All right, you back?
Back.
So we haven't done this in a quick minute. It's been a couple weeks.
Yep.
We're going to have to get a whole podcast studio in Tampa now.
Right.
Yeah. Last Saturday, I kid you not, it was like 80-some degrees down there.
It was like 86
It was
degrees.
86 degrees. We're at the beach.
And we come back. I mean, I was sunburnt.
And you were sunburnt.
It was gorgeous. It was so nice. We're walking every evening. And then we come back here.
Yeah. And we're back to just...
The next
nothing.
day, it was
Snow.
snow and slush and rain and sleet, and couldn't decide what it wanted to do over the next couple days. And
I think we're going to have to get used to it, though. I mean, we're not quite at like splitting our time yet, but it's becoming like half and half, or not half and half, like 25, 75. And it's like 25% of our time is down there, 75% of our time is here. And I think over the next few months, year or so, we're going to be 50-50, and then maybe 75-25 the other way.
yeah, maybe.
I'm not sure. It's
We'll
going to be
see.
hard.
Will be interesting to see where life takes us.
Yeah, it definitely
Or
will.
where we take life.
Definitely will. So, anyways, what's new? What shall we chat about this evening? What's on your mind? Couples therapy.
Couples therapy. We do not want to go into all that tonight.
No, we don't want to go into
No,
that
we
tonight.
don't. I don't know. What's been on your mind? Seems to be a lot of marketing stuff lately.
A lot of marketing stuff. I think it's just with our marketing clients that we're working with. It's kind of amped up a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So, for those of you that don't know, we have a media side of our business, and McKenna is definitely helping and leading that up. And I think we're doing okay. I think we're doing well, but it's just kind of funny because the clients that we work with on that side of the company, and I think myself included, I mean, I'm part of that with not only Jason's Heart, but with Heart and Hustle. You throw a few bucks at this thing, and you kind of have, an ad, or you kind of have an image, you kind of have a post, and you expect tremendous results. It's like you waking up and you're going to go on a diet, right? And you want to lose like 40 pounds. And you wake up and you have that first breakfast, low carb, doing well, some fruit. Well, and by noon, it's just like, well, this diet sucks. I'm not losing any weight. It's like you don't understand. It is a process.
That's what people think about the whole marketing process. Throw a few ads out there and bam, we'll
Yeah.
have people lining up at the doors.
You do. And I saw a podcast last week. I kind of was watching it before I came into here, but it was funny. It was talking about the character of a company. And for so long, I'm not sure if I was like positioned this way or if someone just said enough where I believed it. Whereas like when you build a business, you have to build it in such a way that you may not exist. In that way, you can sell the business. Meaning that if I ever stepped out of Soaring Group and became not the guy anymore, not the character, that the company can stand on its own and it can actually run without a person there. But the reality is that there's only like maybe the top 1 or 2% of companies that can do that.
Very true.
The Apples and the Microsofts. And even back in the day, when you had Microsoft, you had Bill Gates. He was the character of the company. He was the guy. With Tesla. It was Steve Jobs with
Elon
Apple,
Musk.
with Elon Musk, with Tesla. It was like he's the character. So it's like every company has their character. It seems like a lot of these companies that not only that we deal with, or that other companies or the other organizations that may think this, they can think that, hey, we can post a Facebook ad or do a YouTube video and get sales, but we don't want to be the mascot. We don't want to be the character of the company.
Nobody wants to be.
We don't want to be out in front.
Nobody wants to be.
And I've worked with companies from small to large on that scale, and there's some individuals that just don't want to be the face of the company. They're a very good doctor, they're a very good practitioner, they're a very good business operator, but they don't want to be in front. And it's just like you have to do everything you can to get them in front. And I think sometimes that's a great fallacy of marketing, where these marketing companies will come and say, yeah, let us help promote you. Let us help sell your product and post your post out there for you, and go through this mechanism of 5 posts a week or create these videos or create this content. But at the end of the day, it's really about the proprietor. It's about the owner being that character, that person. So it's much like you and Mallory doing with Inside Soaring Group proper. You guys are doing a lot of the In the Heart of It videos. Not as many as I like, but you're kind of kicking some out there.
Because we don't want to be the face either.
Yeah, but you guys are doing well, and you're doing well. But it's like I can't be the face of everything.
No, you can't.
So you just can't stretch yourself. But you kind of have to have those experts out there. So I think it's very important to have that character.
Well, I think we talked about it on a couple episodes prior, but you talk all the time about how people do business with people. People don't do business just to do business. I mean, they do business with people. And if they can't connect a person or somebody to that product or to that service, then it's hard to sell. And when so many businesses out there are not Apple and not Tesla and not, who these huge organizations who somebody could probably step in, and they might have a little bit of a shift and a little dysfunction for a bit, but they'll still survive.
Right.
I mean, these small to medium-sized businesses that we work with, that's really difficult. It's really difficult for them, A, to ramp up. It's really difficult, B, if they were to go away. How does that move on?
And
how does that business move on?
Right. And I think it also depends if you're in the product world or the service world. Maybe not as much, but if you're inside the services world,
it's even harder.
It's even harder. I think if you're inside the product world, it's very difficult. It's like you had what was the old sponge? The whammy, the chamois? ShamWow.
Hi, it's Vince with ShamWow. You'll be saying wow every time you use this towel. It's like a chamois, it's like a towel, it's like a sponge.
The ShamWow guy, and it's the ShamWow thing, and he was the face of the company.
Mm-hmm, yep.
And he was the product. It was like you were buying the product, but it was like he was just flamboyant. He was out there. You kind of recognize it.
Right. Yeah.
Or where's the beef lady from the Wendy's commercial from years ago?
Yeah.
You kind of had that character. You kind of had that person. So you associate yourself with that person of that company.
Yeah.
So it's like, and people want to hide behind the curtain and they don't want to get out there. You can't let other people be the face for you. They can definitely be your assistants. They can help you produce. They can help you edit. They can help you get your face out there. But it really has to be you and the character. It sometimes can't be a third-party firm.
For sure. Especially like you said in services, because nobody knows your business like you do. Nobody people can't just create content for you. They can on a very superficial base level, but you're not going to get the attention or the heart behind what you're trying to do. It's just not going to happen.
Right. So I don't know. It's a difficult world. I know. It's kind of a fascinating world as well. So I definitely enjoy playing inside that world. I can't say I'm an expert by any means, but I do know that companies do have to focus on each of their characters of who they have into it. And I do know going into it, if a company doesn't have that person, being at the top or at the helm of the company, willing to put forth the effort and talk the talk and walk the walk and be in front, it's going to be a difficult journey.
Mm-hmm.
So what's new in the HR field?
What's new?
Yeah, what's new in the HR field?
Not a lot new.
There's never anything.
I think people are still just trying to normalize and adjust to whatever this new world is.
Do you think we're shifting from the whole, work at home, work remote culture back into the office? I mean, there's a lot of companies going that route.
I think it's still very much in the middle. I mean, we swung way to the left with COVID and everybody was working at home and everybody wanted to work from home. And then we tried to come back a little bit, but recognize, we're not coming back like we were. And I think we're kind of hovering in the middle. I think there's a lot of business owners trying to figure out, okay, now that everything is quote unquote normal again, I want my people back in the office. They want employees back in the office, but that's a hard shift for employees to make at this point. And so the employer is like, okay, do I risk losing them or do I force the issue?
I will say there is a nice piece of having individuals in the office. There is definitely a different mindset, and not to say there's a disconnect by if you're not in the office, but there is a sense of camaraderie, I think, that happens when you are in the office.
Absolutely.
And things get done quicker, they get done faster, they get done, I think, more efficiently. You can say things, you can read body interactions, or, just you can read the body language at the folks that you're speaking with. And I think it helps, but I do think there is a subset of individuals out there that are probably more efficient from home. And I think that does work as well, but I think it's tough. However, I think there's a lot of companies out there that are not recognizing that. I think there's a lot of companies out there that just have people that work from home, and they don't recognize the advantage or disadvantages or the ability for certain individuals to be able to do that, and some that cannot.
Yeah. But I mean, that even if you do recognize that, the difficulty that is to manage, it feels like chaos.
It does.
Because you can have one office with 60 people and have it all over the board. And how do you accommodate everybody? How do you accommodate everybody and how everybody's style works and productivity of the company? And it feels like chaos.
It does feel like chaos. I mean, we experience that to a very small degree compared to others, but but it's,
you can definitely tell. I mean, there's a difference between the relationships with people in the office and our remote workers, and it's just, there is this disconnect. There's a level of, there's things on both sides that employees who don't have to come to the office or who don't come to the office experience, and vice versa.
I think it's a lot like, I've never really had this before, but it's kind of like long distance dating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you're dating somebody that's 500 miles away or 1,000 miles away. You're in your quote unquote in a relationship, but you're 1,000 miles away.
Yeah.
Versus if you're dating somebody in the same city, you can go on micro dates all the time. Versus the occasional fly across the country or drive across the country and back. And there's a big difference between people that long distance date versus those that can, see each other. They're local.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think?
It's an analogy.
I mean, it's an analogy, and
it's true. I mean, it is a relationship, and It's a relationship with the organization. It's a relationship with every employee that you work with, and it's tricky.
Yeah. So. McKenna, this is when you cut into it's tricky. There you go. There we go. And then now we're coming out of it. Just trying to help you out, girl. I hate that phrase, but I think our daughter's using it a lot lately.
Girl?
Hey, girl. She's calling you
calling
girl.
Me girl.
Hey, girl.
Who do you think you're talking to?
So,
girl.
So Audrey, she is not a big deal, but she is currently homeschooling now. So we're traveling a lot. We're doing our thing, and she's with us a lot. So she's homeschooling, and we're going back and forth a little bit, and she was down in Florida last week with us, and we're sitting there driving, and all of a sudden I hear from the backseat, hey, girl. I'm like, what you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
It's like telling us, girl, I love this shirt. Girl, can you see this?
Oh, boy.
I am your mother.
Yeah, at least I think
She's funny.
She's funny. She's a good kid.
Yeah.
You can wipe that out, McKenna, so that's never at least on record from me.
Whatever.
Yeah. At least I'm getting McKenna's name right now. We're just like flowing into it now. We're not necessarily.
It's just rolling off the tongue.
It is.
Oh, it's only been a year.
Yeah. Not
No,
quite.
it hasn't been. Not
So,
quite.
Yeah. Outside that, IT world, it's been a bit crazy. The big things inside the IT world right now for me is back about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we started to see a lot of companies really pushing endpoint detection, meaning that when you have PCs on the network, you need active monitors really watching for intrusions and hacking attempts on those PCs, and really watching for applications that may be spawning and not necessarily being discovered by antivirus worlds and whatnot. And without going into all the technical jargon, lately in the past 6 months, year, insurance companies now are requiring companies to have, next generation tools installed on all these computers across all these different networks in order to be accepted to have their insurance. And what companies are just now realizing is like, my goodness sakes, this is freaking expensive. And we're kind of hitting this shift in our world where companies don't necessarily have the equipment ready, meaning, sometimes their PCs are a couple years, 3-4 years old, and they quite don't have the quote unquote horsepower to even run these applications to protect themselves, but yet they're required to do this now. So now we're getting in this concept where we have these reviews coming up. I mean, our quarterly reviews are coming up here in 2 more weeks. They start again, which sucks for me, but great for the clients. Just the amount of work that goes involved with this stuff. And now to have those conversations with them starting pretty much now up until the next probably 18 months of it's massive upgrade time. So, and it's not really because you need it. Excuse me. Again, it's not because you need it. It's not because your applications need or your computers run like crap. It's the fact that the insurance companies are pressing so hard for these next generation tools to be installed. And these tools are taking up resources that you wouldn't believe. And I'm not saying that every computer out there is like this, but by and large on the whole, we have a lot of nonprofit type companies that have some older equipment. They have some equipment that may be 4 or 5 years old and is still running just fine. But the minute you load these tools on there, it just wreaks havoc and things are slow. So now we're stuck. So it's like working with them now to figure out what their next path looks like for the next 12 to 18 months and how they can get upgraded without coming off as the sales dude that just wants to sell them new stuff.
Yeah.
So
that sounds like a whole lot of busy.
it's a whole lot of busy. So, and just a lot of different migrations and customer projects that are going on and moves and everything else. It just seems like this first quarter of this year has been just a whirlwind.
Yeah,
so
it's been busy.
God bless the team. I mean, they've done a really good job so far, and they've kept things together and hired a few more staff. And I hate using that word, but just team members, staff, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I just hate. I don't know the good word anymore of what that's called. So, folks,
folks,
you people.
Oh my gosh. gosh.
What was the movie we saw the other day? Eddie Murphy was in it with. We didn't see it, but we saw the Maybe we did.
We watched it. Yeah,
Yeah,
we did.
Yeah, it was actually called "You People," wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, it was quite funny.
Yeah.
So it was funny.
It was good.
So, anyways, but that's all I got for now.
Okay.
I guess
Sounds good to me.
But you know what's coming up?
What?
In a week from now, I'm back down in Tampa with Jason.
Yeah.
We're doing our thing, and you get to sit here in the nice chilly cold. But I ordered for our little abode down there porch lights. We got some outdoor furniture coming. We got some music, Sonos players going. And by the time you come down here the next 3 weeks, it'll be all set for you.
Ready to go for me.
Be all ready to go for you.
That's what
You'll
I
be
like.
chilling out down there, and I'm gonna have a video camera down there. I'll be podcasting from the patio. Maybe that's a time or new podcast. Podcasting from the patio.
Podcast from the bay.
Podcast from the
Podcast
patio.
by the bay.
Podcast by the bay. Yeah, okay. It's a pretty
That
cool
could work.
spot. We could.
can make it happen.
Anyways. Well, everybody, that's all we got for tonight. So sorry, McKenna, for the weirdness kind of going on, and hopefully we get some good jump cuts there, some good edits. But outside that, is that
Okay.
it?
That's it.
All right.
Good night.
We'll see you later. Ciao. Now what?
I don't know. Are we done?
We can be.
Okay.
Okay.